What's good, planet Earth? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Charlie and thank you for being here. Today we're getting into someone who has been causing quite a stir recently. This is Ren and we're going to see what all the hype is about. So this song's called Hi Ren. This will be the first reaction to Ren. I've never heard anything from him. But yeah, this has been out like 3 months and has already got something like 9 million views or something. So this is popular. Welcome to any new viewers and Ren fans. Think about subscribing if you like the content. If by the end of the video you decide you really like what I do and you want to support the channel, Patreon guys, it's down below in the description. You'll get blocked content, early releases, a request upon sign up, and then you'll get 4 opportunities every month to be picked to put a request forward. Anyway, let's get into this and without further ado, let's go.
Nothing's for certain. Maybe you'll be fine. Maybe you'll be fine too.
Hospital chair. He's in his hospital clothes. Who's this guy? Looks like a butcher with a... Is it supposed to be like a surgeon or something? He's got blood on his apron. He's got rubber gloves on. It's like a mix between someone who works in an abattoir, a butcher, and a... Doesn't even look like a surgeon. Weird. Sounds like kind of Eminem style. So I'm going to try and not stop this too much, but it's so there's already a lot to take in. It's really interesting and it grabs you because he's clearly a very good guitar player, but it's not without its imperfections, which almost makes it more like real and raw. And it's made me listen even harder because I'm like, what is this about? This isn't like a really polished, perfect studio version. There are imperfections in his playing, which I like, right? I'm not saying it's shit or anything. But yeah, this is really interesting.
Hi there, Ran. It's been a little while. Did you miss me? You thought you buried me, didn't you? Risky. Cause I always come back. Deep down, you know that. Deep down, you know I'm always in periphery. Ran, are you pleased to see me? It's been weeks since we spoke, bro. I know you need me. You're the sheep, I'm the shepherd. Not your place to lead me. Not your place to be biting off the hand that feeds me. Hi, Ran. I've been taking some time to be distant. I've been taking some time to be still. I've been taking some time to be by myself since my therapist told me I'm ill. And I've been making some progress lately. And I've learned some new coping skills. So I haven't really needed you much, man. I think we need to just step back and chill. Ren.
Okay, so this is clearly like a two sides of him. Old him, maybe toxic him, talking to, trying to heal him, right? So that's the perspective here.
Told me I'm ill. And I've been making some progress lately. And I've learned some new coping skills. So I haven't really needed you much, man. I think we need to just step back and chill. Ren, you sound more insane than I do. You think that those doctors are really there to guide you? Been through this a million times. Your civilian mind is so perfect to always being lied to. Okay, take another pill, boy. Drown yourself in the sound of white noise. Follow this 10-step program, rejoice. All your problems will be gone. Fucking dumb boy. Nah, mate. This time is different, man. Trust me. I feel like things might be falling in place. And my music...
Is he talking about addiction? Well, he said 10 steps. It's 12 steps, isn't it? Is the is for addicts is like the 12 step. I think, isn't it? I'm not sure. So is he talking about addiction here? It's interesting, isn't it, how similar those things are when you really deep it. It's like yeah, whether it be mental health or whether it be, well, I mean, they're both kind of interlinked, aren't they? But whether you're talking about addiction or whether you're talking about trauma or anything like that, obviously they're very tightly linked. But it's the same sort of thing. Your trauma is, while it can be unhelpful, it's safe and you know it. And it's always kind of trying to bring you back, like, oh, this new, like, healthy way of coping and, you know, new ways of being, new ways of thinking are scary. And your old, maybe toxic ways of being and thinking are safe to you, and they're always wanting to kind of pull you back. But the same thing is true for addiction as well. So it'd be interesting to see. But it's throwing me off a little bit, the fact that he said 10 steps, because I know it's 12 steps. I'm pretty sure it's 12 steps, the addiction work, right? Let's see.
Boys, follow this 10-step program, rejoice, all your problems will be gone. Fucking dumb boy. Nah, mate, this time is different, man, trust me. I feel like things might be falling in place, and my music's been kinda doing bits too. Like I actually might do something great, and when I'm gone, maybe I'll be remembered for doing something special with myself. That's why I don't think that we should talk, man, cause when you're with me, it never seems to help. You think that you can amputate me? I am you, you are me, you are I am we are one. Split in two, that makes one, so you see, you gotta kill you if you wanna kill me. I'm not leftover dinner, I'm not scraps on the side. Oh, your music is thriving, delusional guy. Where's your top 10 hit? Where's your interview with Oprah? Wow, your Grammys ran nowhere. Yeah, but my music...
Wow. Who is this dude? This is great. This is really, really well thought out. Oh, amputate. Has that got anything to do with the guy that wheeled him in at the abattoir? He's covered in blood because he's trying to cut. He's the patient and he's trying to cut, almost like he's been like separating Siamese twins or something. He's covered in blood. Looks like he's at an abattoir. Is that what this is about? He's been chopping the old, less helpful him away from this trying to heal version of him. And it's interesting the voice he's given, the more sort of the older, more maniacal, so it's a much more sort of maniacal voice to him. And the new him's got much more of a sort of like vulnerable voice. It's much calmer, it's vulnerable, but it's also speaking complete sense. And you know, it's like, where's your interview with Oprah? Where, you know, where's your Grammys and all of that stuff. And that's the sort of unhelpful, negative voice that certainly I get when I'm trying to do something new or trying to better myself. It's always those voices like, well, where's your evidence that this is going to work? And it's like you plague yourself with negativity and doubt and being like, well, where's the evidence that this is going to work? It ain't going to work. You know, you are me, I am you. You know this. It's always been that way. You know, this is just going to be another thing that you fail at. And we all know that you only fail if you listen to that voice. So it becomes like a self-fulfilling prophecy. And it takes a lot of strength to not listen to that voice. Anyway, I'm going to try and stop talking so much and try and get through this. But it's really hard to not stop, because this is amazing.
I'm not leftover dinner, I'm not scraps on the side. Oh, your music is thriving, delusional guy. Where's your top 10 hit? Where's your interview with Oprah? Wow, your Grammys ran nowhere. Yeah, but my music's not commercial like that. I never chase numbers, statistics or stats. I never write hooks for the radio, they never even play me, so why would I concern myself with that? But my music is really connecting, and the people who find it respect it. And for
Sorry, I can't stop stopping this. I'm sorry. Right, so I said it's got much more of a sort of vulnerable voice. It's not vulnerable voice. It's like his voice. So this is like, that's the real him. And the old one isn't him. It's like a manic version of him. But it's not so much vulnerable. It seems a little bit vulnerable. Like it's a little bit like he's really trying to convince this old him and himself that I'm good, actually. I'm good the way I am. But you can tell it is a little bit vulnerable, but it's much more his voice.
Me, that's enough, cause this life's been tough, so it gives me a purpose I can rest in. Man, you sound so pretentious. Ren, your music is so self-centered. No one wants to hear another song about how much you hate yourself. Trust me. You should be so lucky, having me inside you to guide you, remind you to manage expectations, provide you perspective. That thing you neglected, I get it. You wanna be a big deal, next Jimi Hendrix, forget it. Man, it's not like that. Man, it's just like that. I'm inside you twat. No, it's not, man, you're wrong. When I write, I belong. Let me break the fourth wall by acknowledging this song. Ren sits down, has a stroke of genius. He wants to write a song that was not done previous. A battle with his subconscious. Eminem did it. Played on guitar. Plan B did it. Man, you're not original, you criminal rip-off artist. The pinnacle of your success is stealing other people's material. Ren, mate, we've heard it all before. She sells seashells on the seashore. Fuck you, I don't need you, I don't need to hear this. Cause I'm fine by myself, I'm a genius. And I will be great, and I will make waves. And I'll shake up the whole world beneath us. That's right, speak your truth, your fucking God complex leaks out of you. It's refreshing to actually hear you say it instead of downplay it.
Music is all about the creative process, and if people can find something to relate to within that, then that's just a bonus.
Fuck you, I'ma fucking kill you, Ren. Well, fucking kill me then, let's fucking have you, Ren. I'ma do it, watch me prove it. Who are you to doubt my music? Cause I call the shots, I choose if you die. Yeah, I call the shots and so I choose who survives. I'll tie you up in knots when I lock you inside. Newsflash, I was created at the dawn of creation. I am temptation. I am the snake in Eden. I am the reason for treason. Beheading all kings, I am sin, with no rhyme or reason. Son of the morning, Lucifer, Antichrist, father of lies. Mephistopheles, truth in a blender, deceitful pretender, the banished avenger, the righteous surrender. When standing in front of my solar eclipse, my name is stitched to your lips, so you see, I won't bow to the will of a mortal. Feeble and normal, you wanna kill me? I'm eternal immortal. I live in every decision that catalyzes chaos, that causes division. I live inside death, the beginning of end. I am you, you are me, I am you, friend.
So it seems like this this other voice is presenting a bit like the devil. Like all the evil is everything that kind of makes everything go wrong with the world. Is temptation, is all of that. So that seems what this is sort of morphed into.
Hi, Ren. I've been taking some time to be distant. I've been taking some time to be still. I've been taking some time to be by myself, and I've spent half my life ill. But just as sure as the tide starts turning, just as sure as the night has dawned, just as sure as the rainfall soon runs dry when you stand in an eye of a storm. I was made to be tested and twisted. I was made to be broken and beat. I was made by his hand, it's all part of his plan that I stand on my own 2 feet. And you know me, my will is eternal. And you know me, you've met me before. Face to face with a beast, I will rise from the east and I'll settle on the ocean floor. And I go by many names also. Some people know me as hope. Some people know me as the voice that you hear when you loosen the noose on the rope. And you know how I know that I'll prosper? Cause I stand here beside you today. I have stood in the flames that cremated my brain, and I didn't once flinch or shake. So cower at the man I've become when I sing from the top of my lungs. That I won't retire, I'll stand in your fire, inspire that me to be strong. And when I am gone, I will rise.
So just before it moves too far on, I just want to shed some light on the, or not so shed, or bring your attention to the fact that he stood up out of his wheelchair. And he's talking about hope. So this is like, this does seem to be like an old version of him versus a new version of him. But it's also like evil versus hope, like bad versus good. That's that kind of thing. But I just want to see that now he's talking much more sure-footedly about himself and who he is. But he's also stood up out of his wheelchair, which is interesting, very symbolic.
When I sing from the top of my lungs, that I won't retire, I'll stand in your fire, inspire that me to be strong. And when I am gone, I will rise in the music that I left behind. Ferocious, persistent, immortal like you, we're a climate different side. When I was 17 years old, I shouted.
Now, maybe I'm reading a bit too deep into it here, but he just very intentionally put his guitar leaning up against the wheelchair that would prevent him from sitting in it again. So is that symbolic of music is the thing that's helping to keep him out of that sort of patient role, that patient in that sort of place where he is ill? Interesting.
Shouted out into an empty room, into a blank canvas that I would defeat the forces of evil. And for the next 10 years of my life, I suffered the consequences, with autoimmunity, illness, and psychosis. As I got older, I realized there were no real winners and there were no real losers in psychological warfare, but there were victims and there were students. It wasn't David versus Goliath, it was a pendulum, eternally swaying from the dark to the light.
Yes.
And the more intensely that the light shone, the darker the shadow it cast.
Yo, that's a bar. That's a bar. The more intensely the light shone, the darker the shadow it casts. That's a bar.
Eternally swaying from the dark to the light. And the more intensely that the light shone, the darker the shadow it cast. It was never really a battle for me to win. It was an eternal dance. And like a dance, the more rigid I became, the harder it got. The more I cursed my clumsy footsteps, the more I struggled. So I got older, and I learned to relax. And I learned to soften, and that dance got easier. It is this eternal dance that separates human beings from angels, from demons, from gods. And I must not forget, we must not forget, that we are human beings.
Bruh. Nah, I ain't missing that. What was he doing there? So he said he's got some sort of autoimmune illness, and he seems to be linking up some kind of medical apparatus. So he said is that a genuine thing that he has? Is that apparatus that he needs? Because he's saying we're still human, you know. We're not gods, we are human, and I do need this. Is this what he's saying? I do need this medical apparatus regardless. You know, I can be strong, I can use music to keep myself well, but at the end of the day, I'm not invincible, I am human, and I still need this all connected up. Is that what's going on here? Maybe I'm reading too much into it, I don't know. But that's really interesting. And I've got 2 tattoos on my wrist. One says we're strong, one says we are fragile. And that really kind of, if that's what he's saying, it really embodies kind of why I got these when I was younger. Because I had the same, not the same struggle, but the same thing with either thinking I was, you know, that swing, that pendulum swing from light to dark. I always swinging from a place of thinking that I was nothing and that I was weak and that I was just useless, to thinking that I was sort of all-powerful, just completely the other way. And I got these to really kind of represent the fact that you're both. You know, you are strong, you can do whatever you want in life, but you're not invincible. So, you know, look after yourself, basically. That was so dope. Welcome to the Afterthought. That was so sick. I really, really enjoyed that. And it was giving me, I mean, this is one of maybe 2 or 3 other things that I've ever reacted to that are kind of on this level of sort of artistry and symbolism and things like that. Like one of them was Bo Burnham, All Eyes on Me, which again actually was about mental health and those kind of struggles. So it's kind of similar in that respect. But It was absolutely phenomenal, beginning to end. He's a great lyricist, he's a great guitar player, and is clearly capable of putting together an amazing video as well. Simple, but full of symbolism, if it indeed it is as I commented on. I'm not saying my commentary and my observations are necessarily accurate, and if they're not, I'm really looking forward to reading your comments, guys, so please leave them down in the comments. This is one of those videos in which the comment section is just always such a great place to be, because everyone's got their own things that they've observed, and you know, I get to know about things that I would have missed and things like that. So this is dope, and I cannot wait to get into more Ren. So subscribe, because there's going to be more, guys. And as I say, if you really enjoyed my reaction, think about signing up to Patreon. It's the best way of supporting the channel. You get some perks, you get access to all corners of the Charlie Smith channel that other people don't have access to, and yeah, it ensures that I can keep doing this. So anyway, thank you for being here, guys. I really appreciate you watching and giving my video the time of day. But have a great one, and as always, be kind to yourselves, love everybody, and take care. I freaking love you guys.